how many of you get to get serenaded like this any old time, but I'd like to give Tom and his wonderful bride. Thank you, Katie. John. Okay, good. So, like many things in life, you don't know how many people are going to show up. And I think this is one of our smallest turnouts. But what I want to do is be able to share the things that we're excited about. And so in the process of doing the work that we do, my name is Grover Bornefeld, and I've lived in the district for 33 years. And I was explaining to my friends here who have history and right where I live, that family, that we have been working for a long time. And I want to first of all, acknowledge how many people here are already involved in things. So to start with, this is the current chair from Sub-Area 3 of our DAC.
Hello, my name is Jeanette Castro. Good to meet you all, or to see you again.
And who's this with you?
This is Cora. She's a park enjoyer and my helper tonight.
And she's in training to be your chair in a few years.
All right.
And this here is Anita, who is also a sub-area from Sub-Area 2 representative, and you've been on for what, 3 years, more or less?
Since we started.
Yeah, well, this is 3 years.
It seems like long.
I know. We went through this whole process.
I think it's 4, right?
Well, I had a 3-year term, so yes, no, so it's
Oh,
3 years now.
3, okay.
My 3-year term is.
Okay, got it,
is up,
got it.
okay? And then over in this corner, this is Mark, who is the vice chair of our DAC and also a Sub-Area 2 representative. And then our volunteers over here, we've already acknowledged, but I really want to have people get the volunteering. Are there any more volunteers in this room? Oh, wait, Kay, sorry, almost skipped. So Kay runs an incredible volunteer organization where younger people can be assistants to older people of my age group, who would use some assistance, and it's a phenomenal national program, and she's the main spoke in our hub in our local. So thank you for that.
I think I read about that recently. What's the name? It's called River East Village.
Okay.
And that's our local, the name of the local area. And we have like 50 some volunteers and that many members. And we get inquiries all the time. Yes.
And then in this corner, we have our wonderful other speakers tonight, but I want to in the introduction part right now. We have Dominic Cortinas, thank you very much, who is the Deputy Director of NCPRD, North Buckles Parks and Recreation. And next to that is Erin Riom, and she is a principal planner and also the main coordinator for the system plan, which she'll be talking to you about in a bit. So I want to give a little background, just a little. The district has been in place since 1990. There was an election and it was selected and decided. And the first rollout of that, there were 5 sub-areas, just like there are now. And each sub-area was approximately the same size throughout the North Buckles Parks and Recreation District. And it was all unincorporated and the city of Milwaukee. So that was not unlike it is now. Little bits of change here and there, but that's pretty much what it was. And it got off to a great start, and they did a master plan back then, and it went off to a great start and got running and going, and then a lot of things changed over time, and I will just sort of skip over that. But I got really involved about 10 years ago when we were discussing, we lost 16 acres of gorgeous trees that didn't become a park, and it's now 72 houses, and the people who live there are wonderful, but we're not happy with the developer or the people who made those choices. So that's what had us look at, how is this system running? And so that's where we looked at, how do we get more local representation? If you look at the original ballot measure, it called for local representation. And that's where the 5 sub-areas came from. And then there's a regional group, which is the district advisory board committee or whatever, and we're on that now. But that other part only still exists in Milwaukee, and they're doing a great job with that. Oh, I forgot to,
Yeah.
we have the mayor of Milwaukee online up there. Can you hear us? And we want to say hello, Mayor Beatty? Okay. We'll get you in a minute.
Yeah, there she is.
There you go.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to come on. I'm just listening in, but yes, I'm the mayor of Milwaukee. We're not part of the voting tonight or anything, but I just wanted to hear the process. And so welcome to the DAC for those who are interested.
Well, we were introducing all the people who participate and do things, and you clearly fit in that category. And I suppose I could do Pat Reinhardt in a minute because she's the treasurer of our local CPO. What I really want to point to is that what makes the world work is people being involved. So thank you for your involvement. And I was pointing to the example that Milwaukee still has a parks board. And that is a model that makes a difference. And I'm part of, Onyx part of, several of us are part of what is called the implementation team. We're all volunteers. The fact that we are on boards or I'm on the library board too, that's irrelevant. It's that we are working to spread the involvement. Because without that involvement, without people to show up and say, we're interested in this, and we're gonna get to hear some opportunities for that in a minute, but if we don't have people doing that, it kind of goes where it goes. There's good people thinking, making great plans, but where's the feedback from those who are in the facilitation side? So, I mean, in the use side, Parks Department does a great job with outreach. They did a huge amount of help to get this here, and here's the result we have. So that's modern times. It turned out to be, if it was raining today, we probably got more people, if anything. 77 and gorgeous. Anyway, so that's enough of the background I wanted to talk about. But I want to be very clear. We are still actively, this implementation team with a model that was approved by the Board of County Commissioners, as did they approve the bylaws for the current district advisory committee to help get that outreach. Because if we have any plans for having a future that your kids are gonna love being in, we're gonna have to get going on it, keep going on it now. So what Erin's gonna talk to you about in a minute is how to plan the next 20 years, but I'll let her talk about that. So I just thank you all for being here. My request is, what you learn here that you think is valuable, would you at least consider each of you sharing with 2 other people? Just so they would know more, because there's a lot available online that they can go figure out what they couldn't see. Most of these pictures are available, etc. So that's my request for y'all. Okay, so without further ado, the dynamic duo over here, who's first and what should I tell you? You tell them what you're going to talk about.
Gotta get the technology working.
Yeah.
We understand.
You got that?
Feel free to move your chairs if you want to.
Yeah,
feel
turn
free to
around so you
wherever
can
you want.
see. I think
You're fine. Big-
I'll kind of stand over here, so I'm not blocking anybody.
Oh, okay.
So we just have a short slideshow. I gotta say that really slow because otherwise I'll blend it. A short slide show for y'all tonight. It's gonna cover kind of the overview of the district at a high level. Because we're small, if anyone has any questions, I'll be around the entire time. Erin will be here for a little bit. Please feel free to track us down, ask us anything. If you think of something afterwards, you can reach out to us over email. We respond really quick about things that we're excited about, and the Park District is at the top of our list. So with that said, thank you for having us here to be part of this. It's exciting to be involved in the recruitment process, and we'll kind of get going. So a little bit about North Clackamas Parks and Rec. To start off with, we have a mission and vision that really drives everything. You can kind of see it up here. What we really promote is healthy living through Parks and Rec activities. You are at probably right now the centerpiece of a Parks District as far as a facility. This is a great facility. Right now there's kiddos being certified at their final swim tonight. They're going to walk out of here with little awards, and hopefully a lot of them move on to the next level. So a lot of great things happening in this building. Also, just, swim team will be here or is here right now, swimming lap. So we do everything in this building. I like to call it from diapers to depends. We cover everybody. So we're inclusive of all. So we wanted to kind of show everyone that's here, just who we are, what area we represent. We obviously heard Grover talk about the district and sub areas. This is an overview map of our current parks. This has been recently updated and Aaron will talk about it through our system plan. So everything you're seeing is kind of hot off the press, if you will. So this kind of gives an idea of the district. You can kind of figure out where you fit in the district, where you live according to this map. We have additional maps around the room if you want to zero in on maybe your specific area. So these are additionally on our website if you have additional questions or would like to see these or print them out yourself. So we try to make everything readily available.
Can we pause for
We're
just a
gonna pause.
We are having an issue with the slide not advancing on the Zoom share, so I think we might be. Right, Barbie, you seeing that? Okay, and we also seem to be having some glitchy thing happening with our fonts, so consider our titles to be some sort of strange word puzzle where you have to fill in the missing letters and. Full stars to
I think my wife
anybody
plays that
who
game
fills
every
in
day on her
correctly,
phone.
Right?
I don't, it's called something, I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, there you go, yeah. You didn't know you were gonna get some bonus tonight. So like I said, that was a map. This is kind of an overview of the district in a nice way. We put this type of information on what we do, or what we call our annual report. Typically, people think of annual reports as just financials, but a Parks and Rec annual report includes some high-level financials, but also how we impact the community, how many parks we have, how many programs we have, how many people go through those programs. So you can just see by these numbers that we have a huge impact in this community. The exciting thing for NCPRD is that we know we can have a much greater impact. But we rely on the district advisory committee to help us get there. So hand in hand, we're working together and think we have this idea in the future, what we can really do. But this kind of gives you today a starting point for some people to think where we're at today and where we can be is as far as your imagination. So we've got a lot of good things going. We're gonna kind of scroll through some of the current offerings that we have right now. This is a picture of the building you're in. You're looking at from the far end, looking back towards the lobby. So that is a wave pool. I would love to go into it and participate. My family tells me I'm too old. So I just go out there and watch all the little kids do it and have a blast. So we are a great facility. One of the things about this building that a lot of people might not realize is we offer swimming lessons. We struggle because the demand outweighs what we can provide. There's a few reasons. There's just a lot of people in this area. Having enough instructors and hours of the day is another issue. So we do the best we can. We take care of our in-district residents first. Once that is offered to in-district residents, we then open it up to out-of-district residents. But we know who our customers are, we know who our taxpayers are, and we know who our partners are. So this facility is just kind of a beacon of what we have going on right now. This next facility is the Milwaukee Community Center. Not too far from here, but also a great facility where we do a lot of programming out. We actually offer, we have a full service kitchen there. They do lunch every day, pools there. Once a year, we offer free help and assistance with tax returns for seniors to make sure that they get the help they need with tax returns. We do group exercise classes over there. It's a great building. It's right next to Clackamas Park. If you're ever looking for something to do and can't figure out, look up the Milwaukee Community Center. They have something going on all the time. We have some big events coming up this month. There's Pride Bingo at the end of this month. That is a huge hit. If you're interested, sign up soon because it sells out. It's limited space. But it's a very cool event, very inclusive, and it's a way for us to give back. Here we have one of our wetlands. This is a different side of Parks and Rec. This is nature, this is preservation, this is calm and peace, and you can see the beautiful walkway there. I think a lot of people, when they think of Parks and Rec, they don't realize the impact it has on someone's mental health, especially now. A lot of people just get out and about, and that is therapy for them. So we have a cross of physical things like this building. We have parks where people can go sit and read, and we have areas like this that are just beautiful, where people can just relax and enjoy the view. So that's Portland. And then here we go. We're going a little younger here. This is one of our playgrounds. This is over by the Concord building is Springfield, yes.
Family.
So great park, a great meeting area. If you haven't been there, I suggest you check it out. It's kind of a little hidden secret back where it's tucked, but if you find it, you'll definitely be happy with the amenities there. And then this is just a picture of our trolley trail. It's probably one of our most popular and talked about amenities that we have in the district, because it accommodates, as you can see, bikers, walkers, joggers, runners, everybody, dog walkers, cat walkers, anybody. So this is something that is really exciting, and we are continually trying to figure out how to enhance that. Erin probably is going to talk about some new signage that's going to come up there. I won't take her thunder, but these are little things that we're continually doing to kind of churn to make sure that we're delivering the best services to the community members. So. And now I'm going to tag Erin in, and she'll take over. So.
Great, thank you. Am I okay to present over here in advance, or I don't know where the camera is? So thank you, Dominic, for giving us an overview of everything that we have going on, who we are, what we do. We also wanted to talk to you all a little bit tonight about what we have coming up, because there's a lot that's going on, particularly in the next few months. Again, apologies for our very strange text situation that's happening. But if we fill in the gaps here, what this actually says is that our Hoopers basketball program, this is just one of our many recreation and sports offerings that we have, but I wanted to highlight it because just in winter and spring of 2024, we had over 1,600 kiddos sign up in that program. And we've had 286 volunteer coaches participate in that program. That's pretty cool.
Whoa.
And next. That doesn't include all of the summer camps that we've got coming up. We have basketball included among many other offerings for summer camps. A wide range of different offerings based on different interests, catering to different ages. And currently we've got 2,700 folks registered for our summer camps. So also very impressive. We will also be sending out our traveling rec mobile, this very cool van that goes park to park during the weekdays and offers crafts and games and activities for kiddos and families as just sort of a free opportunity to play and participate in our parks throughout the district during the summer months. Next, we've got our Concerts in the Park series that's about to start up in the month of July. So that'll be really fun to participate in. We've got 3 different concerts coming up, and then movies in the park that continue through the month of August as well. So some great offerings and opportunities to get out in our parks, convene with other community members, and kind of gather and get together there. So that's just a snippet of the cool things that we have going on this summer. I also wanted to talk about how we're planning ahead for the future. I'm a planner, so that's what I do. That's kind of my world. So I wanted to highlight a few of the projects that we have going on. One of them is our system plan. Grover has mentioned that a couple of times because it's a really important plan for the district. It's looking 20 years out at where we think we want to be. What are the offerings that we want to have for Parks and Recreation in North Clackamas moving forward? And as Grover noted, it's been 20 years since we've adopted a system plan. So it's high time for us to take a look at this. So this project will be ongoing over the course of the next year. We're kind of midway through our process. And really importantly, right now, in our next slide, we have an online survey. So we've been talking this evening about the importance of community engagement, hearing from community residents what they want to see in the district. This is one of our key tools to be able to do that through our planning process. So if you haven't yet completed a survey, for our system plan process, please do. We've got flyers available, multiple locations here. Please also encourage your friends and neighbors to participate in this as well. Because this is going to be one of our key opportunities to receive feedback from community members on what you all would like to see and allow that to shape the plan as our team works through it. In addition to that, we also have a park at Jennings Lodge campus that's in a design process. Our consultant team developed 2 preliminary concepts. We've collected a lot of community feedback on that, and they're in the process of distilling that into a refined design concept with the intent of having the design finalized in the spring of 2025. So that's going to be a really exciting project as well. In addition to that, our Concord campus is under construction. If you've driven past, you might have noticed that. There's a lot of dirt moving around, a lot of big trucks, lots of things going on. So that's in process. We'll have a new park. We'll have some modest renovations to our community center and a new library that'll be located there. So very, very exciting work today, and scheduled to be completed in summer of 2025. Dominic also mentioned that we're making improvements to the trolley trail. So back in 2023, there was a safety audit that was conducted. One of the consultant team recommendations from that project was to install some additional signage about safety and etiquette, how to use the trail appropriately. So our team has partnered with Metro and with Intertwine to be a pilot test for regional signage in the area, which is really, really exciting. We get to be one of the first groups to be able to install that, and that's going to be going up this summer. So moving very quickly on that as well. And then finally, I didn't want to miss an opportunity to plug one of the very wonderful events that we have coming right up. June 22nd is not only my daughter's 3rd birthday, it is also the date of our pollination celebration. She will be there in a bug costume, so you can say hello. We'll have games, we'll have treats, we'll have a costume contest, lots of great ways to gather community together. So again, this is just a highlight of some of the things that are going on currently in the district.
Where's that going to be?
This is at Stringfield Family Park.
Yay.
Yes.
That's on Neff if you're not used to the location down from the library.
Yeah, thank you for that. So I know that time is a precious resource this evening, so that's all we're going to present to you. But again, if you have any questions about any of the materials that we've shown, anything that's kind of stacked up around the room, please feel free to reach out to myself or to Dominic, and we're happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very
Very cool
much.
stuff.
So, what I always like to do is get to know people, and I managed to speak to a few people, but there's a lot of people here I don't know, and might be same in reverse. So one of the things I want to just come right off of what Aaron said, though, remember when I was talking about getting involved in doing things? That website, you can go to ncprd.com and it'll be across the banner, and you'll be able to find it no other way. But it's a short, concise, but lots of opportunity for you to express what your preferences are, and place to write in things that they don't cover that you want to, because they're gonna take all that information and process it and come up with, well, based on what we heard, this is what we know, and this is et cetera. So this is where, again, talk to 2 people, you do the survey, and you at least see if you can enroll 2 other people to do it, because without that input, they're smart people, but they don't necessarily know what you want. And they want to know, truly. And by the way, I have to say that the board of directors for, well, Board of County Commissioners, them, but they also serve as the board of directors for NCPRD. They always love it when people come to their meetings. And they always say they want to, and they always were disappointed when nobody shows up. So I want you to know tentatively right now, don't write this, don't worry about it, but on the 26th, which is Wednesday, so it's 2 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today, whatever, it's a Wednesday, 6 o'clock. They're gonna be having the meeting at the here or over there, here in this very room. Now that could change, so you have to keep checking ncprd.com, but that's the current day it's scheduled for. I checked with Tony. Tony's the guy who makes all the stuff happen in the county. So, okay, so what I would like us to consider doing is have everybody introduce yourself, but here's what I'd like you to include in your introduction. So your name, and then I'll actually go first to model it. And then also, approximately where do you live? So for me, I'd say what street I live in, so my name's Grover Bornfeld, I live on Boardman between McLaughlin and River Road. Just down the street from the Jennings Lodge and just up the street from it, et cetera, and right next to the trolley trail, et cetera. By the way, I was acknowledging people. This woman sitting right here, we would not have a trolley trail. She didn't do anything handily, but without this woman right here, we would not have a trolley trail. So, we got a few other things too, but we'll let her. Okay, so your name, about where you live approximately, and if you know what sub area you're in, include that. How long have you lived in and around NCPRD? And then the last thing I want to know is, name something that you already know you like about what NCPRD is doing, the parks, et cetera. And one thing you'd like to see more of. Okay, so my name's Grover Bornfeld, I live on Boardman. And I've been living in the district from its beginning, 33 years. And the thing I love, this part I really want to look at these people, is the change, is the support, Aaron, the support that we get from the staff. We have a great director, we have a great deputy director, we have planners, and they all work they want to know what we want to know. They want to be able to have us all hit home runs out of the park. So that's the thing I like most about it, is the partnership that we have with the staff of NCPRD. And what I want more of, well, I did more than the right button. I want more trees. Listen, you see the difference between what happens with the temperature and the birds and the bees and the bugs. We need more trees, and we need more trees in our parks. I mean, more trees in along the highways, et cetera. So what I want more of the streets. That's for me. Who would like to be next?
Steve James, I live on River, between F and Rosey.
Gotta say it loud.
Yes, I live on River between F and Rosey for about 15 years now, and I love that we're seeing the unincorporated area have more engagement in all these processes, more parks, more trees. Delighted that we're going to get a library, Oak Grove Library fan, and it's left it.
Copenhagen Miller. I live just south of Concord and west of McLaughlin. And I've been involved with the Parks District ever since it was formed. And as people know, I'm the one of the people, there were 7 of us that went after the Mississippi right away that is now called the Trolley Trail. And I'm still involved in it. The signs that she showed to us. I talked to Michelle Healy, who used to work in North Clackamas Parks, and showed her the signs that we were thinking about putting on, and she said she thinks it flies here because they are badly in need of the same kind of thing over on their trails in the Bend area. They are running into the same problem with the silent speed that we're running into on the trolley trail. So she's watching our program as we go through it here. So give good feedback to the people at the district here. And other than that, I was very involved when they built this Springfield Family Park, because the 2 fellows who grew up in that house came to me, because the trolley trail runs right alongside of it. And they came to me and said they had an offer from a fellow who wanted to put in a tennis court, a building for indoor tennis. What that did was break that residential versus commercial area in our area down there, and would have had to have changed the commercial district that the property sat on from a residential property. And 2 brothers did not want that. They wanted the park that they grew up in to remain a park. So thanks to the staff at the North Clackamas Parks, they partnered with the sanitary district and took the stream that goes across there and figured out a way that the sanitary district could give the money, part of the money, and parks could give part of the money and buy the property and keep it in a residential status like it is right now. So those are two of the major projects that I've been involved with.
I'm sorry for that. How are you going? I live off of Country Road and below McLaughlin, sub area 2 on Jet. And I've been in the district now since 2017, so for about 7 years. I think one of the things I love about the district is, of course, the trolley trail. It's really close to me. I think the one thing that I hope for more is more parks throughout the district. We have areas that are park deficient, and like to see that equal out. I think the systems plan will help us understand that more, so that we can actually see where the density is in relation to where the parks are. So we're making decision based on data, not perception. So that'll be a really good thing. So that's nice.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm Emily, and we live in Southern Area 4, off of Glenwood, right by Middle Park. I really appreciate the close access to parks and to the Duncan Creek area, the nature area. We've been not so close and is that how we live? I'd like to see more parks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to say probably this stuff because we married, we lived together. Part of that, but yeah, and we've been in Milwaukee for 4 years. Her whole family's from here, generations. We met in college. I moved out here. I fell in love with Milwaukee and Portland and Oregon in general. And yeah, we're on the trolley trail at least every other day with our dogs, or I run there in the mornings. We're really grateful for that. Trying to figure out how we can help.
All right. I'm Kay Weaver and I live in sub area 1 at the foot of Meldrum on Cottonwood. And I've lived there. Well, I've been paying into taxes for the park since 1990, I guess. And what I would like to see is more information for people in our area about the parks that we do have. People see the Springfield Park pretty easily because that's where the post office is. So they realize it's there, but I rarely see that the building is used. And I'd like to see it being used for meetings, et cetera, because it's really hard to find meeting places. Lately, the credit union that is Enbold has loaned us their meeting room, but it's difficult to find meeting places, and I'd like Springfield to be more available.
So, okay, tell everybody who the us is.
So
I know, but
I volunteer with an organization called Rivers East Village, and it's an organization that encourages or actually enrolls volunteers to assist people who are aging to stay in their homes longer. Many have to move to assisted living or move across the country and to be with their children or whatever. And if we can keep them here in our neighborhood and have them be our neighbors and be comfortable and not worry that they, or try to get on a ladder when they shouldn't and all those kinds of things. So we volunteer to do that, and we have about 100 people involved. now, 50 volunteers, 50 members, about that.
Say again the name of it, please.
It's called Rivers East Village.
Oh, yes.
And the reason it's called that is because it's local.
Mhm.
The Clackamas River is the southern boundary, the northern is the Multnomah County line, which is about Johnson Creek Boulevard.
Mhm.
And then the other river, of course, being the Willamette on the west, and on the east, it's 205.
Sure.
And there are 11 other villages in the Portland area. And there are 3 in the process of coming on board, one at in Sunnyside, which will include Damascus, I think, one in Newburgh and one in Gresham.
Great.
So it's a great idea, and if you know people who are recently retired and wondering what to do, send them our way.
Okay. Well, I'm Sheila. I live in sub-area 3, just east of Mount Talbert. Our property actually abuts it. What I really enjoy about North Clackamas Parks is the number of parks that they have, but also that they're acknowledging the more natural areas as being something that we need to support. What I would like to see is perhaps utilizing our parks as a way to inform people about native plantings, maybe having native plantings in the parks, but with some information. So if someone wanted to be doing that at their home, they would know what the plants are looking like and the different seasons and how that could be supported in their yard.
Great idea.
Thank you.
I'm Anita Blackmore. I live in sub-area 2, a street that has a lot of oak trees. I guess it's oak savanna remnant. And I have always loved parks, and I wish we had a whole lot more parks. And I know that many areas in the district have almost no parks and are pretty park deficient. So that is always on my mind, and that's why I want to be on the DAC. And I agree, get more trees with heat domes and climate change. Trees become absolutely important in a way that maybe they weren't. I mean, they're nice always, but it's even more important than ever. And I always like to mention what a park design firm in Turkey called one of their parks. They said it's a love story between people and nature. And I think, yeah, let's go for that.
My name is Jan Carruthers, and I live on Boardman in Jennings Lodge, and I'm married to him. And so one of the things I like about the Parks District is that it is over a relatively short period of time in real life, amazing things have been happening. You know, we've already said all these things, but when we came here, we couldn't see a slideshow filled with all these things. Stringfield wasn't here, the trolley trail wasn't here. There were things that just, Boardman wasn't here, the plans, these walls, none of that was here. So it's not fast, but it's apparent now. And I can only imagine what 20 years can be. So that's what I like about it. And I certainly want, just like everybody, more of everything. However, what I'd really like is for the Parks Department to be independent. I would like it to be a separate district so that there is an even closer relationship, nothing against the Board of Commission, Board of Directors, but they have a big job. It's very hard to imagine a bond. I mean, really, they just don't have the wherewithal to do what we need to do when we need to do it at the rate it costs. I mean, we're talking about areas that could be so much more. I look at all of the other parts of the district and I see how much needs to happen there. So
Linda Newman, and I'm in sub-area 1. I'm married to that gentleman over there. And we're on river between both the and that, as he said. We do love the parks we have, and more trees and more parks. But I especially also want to recognize that I think in every public meeting regarding parks of any sort, since I became aware of such things, there's been wonderful support from the staff. And it's delightful to see faces that we recognize, and I really appreciate that.
Hi, standing up for you. My name is Jeanette DeCastro. My pronouns are she and they. I live in sub-area 3, off of Sunnyside Road near 122nd, so really close to Mount Talbot. And what I love about the district is that there's a lot of variety. I have not yet been to all of the parks in our district, which I need to remedy. Like maybe we could do a passport idea or something. That would be kind of fun. Get a stamp for each park. But then what I would like to see is more availability. I recognize that for our aquatic programs and swim lessons that staff is doing an amazing job with what they have, but I'm just not organized enough to log in and register at 9 a.m. to get into a class, right? So I just love to see a little bit more of availability. Did I say I've been here about 8 years? Oh, I think that's good. All right, thank you.
Okay, good, thanks.
And hello.
So Bob, you'll be the last person, and it's, and then we'll do on people online. So your name, approximately where you live, how long you lived in the Parks District, and something you'd like about the Parks District that you use and regularly, and something you'd like more of.
My name is Bob Osbeck, sub-area 1, live off of Boardman. About 5 years, I guess, right? And so, more parks and less development is always good. And I appreciate, I walk on a trolley trail and I go to various parks and enjoy it. And I think more nature and less asphalt is pretty much what I like.
Yeah. And so online, we have Pat Reinhardt. Would you like to introduce yourself, Pat? Are you there? Hello, Pat?
How's that? I'm
That's
here.
good. Hey. So you want to
Anyway,
introduce yourself?
I'm Pat Reinhardt. I live on Jennings Avenue. I love trees just like Grover. And I love the idea of the park that's proposed for the grade school in Jennings Lodge. Anyway, and I've enjoyed this program this evening too. There.
Thank you, Pat. Who else do we have online? That's so who's Mel? Hmm?
Huey.
Oh, so Mel, would you like to introduce yourself?
Muted.
Mel, you're muted. You're not unmute.
Hello?
There you go. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Mel Huey. I live on Rusk Road on Kellogg Creek, south of the Milwaukee Center. And I've been a district resident since 1990. And I worked on the creation of the Parks District and the campaign that we had a vote in, I think, 1990. It's a long time. And also I wanted to mention, as a young planner, I worked for Metro, that I got the funding to build the Milwaukee Community Center. It was called the Milwaukee Senior Center back then. So now I use it like 3 times a week. Little did I know. Now that I'm senior, it's a great resource, as you mentioned earlier in the program. So that's good karma. And I've worked so much with Thelma on the trolley trail. It's always been fun to work with Thelma. And I think the trolley trail in Stringfield Family Park I've worked on. And I worked on the design of the swim center, and I've worked with your whole planning team over the years. And you have a great staff, and I worked with Dan Zinzer, Charlie Seco, and others. So I'm really happy to see the Parks District and the county moving forward on so many positive aspects. And I'm here to continue my support and to keep our funding going. I don't know if you're going to talk about funding later. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel.
For Mel.
Pardon me?
I have a question I'd like to ask Mel.
Okay, Mel, would you entertain a question from Thelma?
Sure.
Have you seen the new signs for the trolley trail?
Well, I saw some on this presentation earlier on the PowerPoint. Are those? I know you've been working on those. They look good.
Yeah, you didn't get them on the email that I sent out?
I can't, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know Thelma did a lot of work on the public art on the trail. And I didn't know if there's gonna be another Oak Grove meeting with a trolley trail booth, their summer annual event.
Yes. They don't call it trolley trail anymore. It's now the Oak Grove event. What sub area are you in, Mel?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm on south of 224 on Rusk Road by Kellogg Creek. Right where the Milwaukee Center is, whatever that district is.
Okay, so you live in the city of Milwaukee, correct?
No, I'm actually one block outside the city of Milwaukee.
Oh.
Rusk Road, the east side of Rusk Road is unincorporated county.
Very good. Okay, good. So that would put you in sub area 2 from my way of looking at our map.
Okay.
And you can actually, for your own verification, at some point, you can go to ncprd.com and get down to the DAC, and there's a place to put your address in, and it will tell you definitively, but well, what you described, that's sub area 2. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we heard from everybody. You guys want to participate, or you're good? Okay, good. So what I want to speak to is a bit about, so everybody saw this either on the way in or whatnot, and that's what I was just describing to him. So this is what was created to divide us back up into 5, approximately 21,000 to 22,000 people. So we would then have 2 representatives from each of these, and then we have 1 additional representative is for the board from the Milwaukee Community Center, which is made up of people. Their board is for people from around the whole district, and so they have 1 representative. And when the Concord, the community center at Concord is operational, the 2 will work together and have 1 representative between them. But so that's how we have 11 people. This is what, and it's on that corner over there. I don't think I have the slide to show it, but I'd be happy to pass this around if people want to see it, but I want to point to the general concept of it. This is us up here. Here are our 2 representatives. And there's a 2-way arrow down through our 2 representatives to the district advisory committee. And we are, by design, we look at things, bring things forward, etc., and advise the board of directors for NCPRD. So you want to send that around and people can peruse that. The thing I want to speak to about this is, hi, Missouri, welcome, welcome. So we can catch you up on
The linger, I just was doing yard work setting.
Okay.
Dirty.
Okay, so what we're doing is introduce yourself, where approximately you live, how long you've lived in the district, and one thing you like about NCPRD and one thing you'd like more of.
Hi, everyone. Mr. Gatino, DAC representative for sub area 1, where Grover was formerly. What I like about the district is it's relatively open-ended as to how we can push the district towards what we want as a community. Something about myself, I grew up in Oregon. What was the other thing? Is that it? Oh, I'm on a river in Meldrum, 100-year-old house, no longer have a picket fence, but I can knock on the door, it's blue, it's 1 story.
Great. The fence got taken out by a car, that's the part he didn't tell you.
Yeah.
That story.
Speeding on river.
Yeah, yes. Okay, so what I want to speak to is this part about volunteering, the part about participating. So we're gonna, in a few minutes, hear from candidates, et cetera. Because of the size of the group, we can all hear about candidates, but you only have to pay attention to who the candidate is from based on how we'll vote, and we'll pass out ballots in a second. What I want to speak to is, we are already in the works of this very room. There's been discussion about the idea to keep growing so that there will be a subsequent meeting that each of the sub areas can have. This is a joint meeting, but I know that Jennings Lodge, and you don't have to live in Jennings Lodge to come to it, we're having our 6th annual picnic on the 3rd Saturday in August. And that's going to have an opportunity, NCPRD will have a presence there, the water department will have a presence there, several other groups will. But it's a chance to get to meet the people who live in your neighborhood, one, and we will have a chance to give an update on what's new between now and August. And then we'll wait for the winter months to go by, and then we'll start again next year. But we want to, it could grow to be more, but let's start with, this is being the 3rd annual of this. And then we're gonna do one, and that'll be the sub area 1 meeting. So sub area 2, sub area 3, sub area 4. I'm happy to brainstorm with you, but it's encouraged that we do that. That's piece 1. Piece 2, on other boards that I participate in, we have alternates. And having alternates helps more people stay connected. So if a representative is not able to continue for A, B, or C reason, there's someone who can conveniently step in, but at least they're included in the community. So we can't say how that's gonna happen yet because the bylaws haven't been changed, et cetera, but that's a discussion that's in the works. So anyone who decides that they wanna be on there and for some reason you don't end up being on there, please don't go away. Because we are using your example. I mean, sub area 3, if it wasn't for Lindsay and Jeanette and Katie and Raphael, those are all people I know who were involved out there. And a bunch of us who went over there and had a little impromptu meeting at Justice Property, and some things happened, and now Justice Property is on the, what's the CIP stand for? The Capital Improvement Plan. To get any project move forward, it has to get on that. So the DAC, and then it was approved and it's on there now. So ta-da. And they keep track of where it is and shows a timeline of what's next. But the more people participate in that and speak up, and I'm going to give you a perfect example, off topic, but not really. This park, with this library in the middle of it, was all uncertain. And it took a word of mouth conversation. And when there was time to make the decisions, if you haven't been to the board of directors meeting, there's a room for 65 people in that room. Now imagine 65 people, and normally there's like 3 to 4 people sitting in the audience. Imagine a meeting and every seat's taken and the walls are lined with people. We did that twice. That got this approved, et cetera, to move it forward at those key things. They need to know this is what people want, otherwise you get tired of hearing from me. You get the point? So we need more people. So that's another reason to stay connected. The libraries, Gladstone and Oak Lodge, worked well together. We built up a group of people and on short notice, we were able to fill the room. So that's, I want to encourage you to stay connected if you want to help move things forward. Okay, good. Yes, ma'am?
I have a question before I pass this on.
Uh-huh.
This is as is today.
Yes. Well, I believe so.
What would change if we became an independent district?
That is,
Separate from the
yeah.
commissioners.
Okay, so I will opine from my opine because I can't speak for anybody officially. It won't radically change the idea, but up near the top, it may look a little different. So are we gonna have representatives and commissioners or board of directors? That part still needs to be worked out, but the idea of having sub-area neighborhood groups is still critical for the process. It'd be critical too. And by the way, again, me opining, if we ever did go to an independent thing, we cannot speak for the staff, we cannot speak for the board. We are independent, tax-paying folks making our own opinions here, so none of this is done. But I want to speak to Well, would we have representatives, unlike the current Board of Commissioners as board members? They can live anywhere in the entire Clackamas County. They all could live, actually, a lot of them do live in Lake Oswego, but that's irrelevant. Not all of them. So I think the ideal thing, much like with the form there, that we would actually have, my opinion, we would have each of the board members would be from one of the sub areas, is how I would envision that. That's what I mean. I'm only opining.
Okay, well, I wanted to know what your,
That was my
because we
opining.
know that's the way it is today, but what do we envision for the future?
Yeah,
The
so,
whole thing, that's what we've got to work on.
so the structure of the DAC would still potentially be a go-between, but the idea is that there are boards in each of the 5 sub areas that can speak directly to their commissioner or board of directors. Okay, good.
Better idea.
I wanted to check on when we're going to the
Glad you
subgroup
asked.
meetings.
I am proposing that we stay here because there's only 2 people online and the rest of the people in this room. So we can have conversations, we could split up into corners if you want to actually hear from the representatives. How many representatives who are running are here? I'm one, there's 2, there's 3. Okay, is there none on, like, so the 3 of us, and we're all in districts, we have no competition here, correct?
You're all in a different district?
Yeah, 4, 3, and 1.
So it's kind of uncontested, as it were.
Well, people have to still vote, but yes, but
Okay.
there's no one else to hear from. So I think we still should let everybody, since I'm again in favor of everything. I think everyone of the candidates should have a chance to take up to 3 minutes and say a bit of who you are and why you want to do it. You don't have to use the whole 3 minutes. So I'm looking, would you like to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm Sheila. I've actually, didn't mention how long I've been in this area because I've actually lived in this area more than 50 years. So that's a half a century. The reason that I stepped forward with this is that I've been following the online meetings and such for several years. And when I heard that there was nobody stepping forward for this position, I felt that I would put my hat in the ring. I'm very interested in finding out more about all the different parks and because there is a wealth of things. And am hopeful that by participating, I can help make things even better.
Thank you.
All right.
Would you like to go next?
Sure, yeah, I'm Daniel, I've lived in Milwaukee 4 years. Yeah, just over here, and our neighbor, down the street,
Mhm.
we were just walking our dogs one day. And she was encouraging us to check it out, and
All right.
so, yeah, that's what got us here. And yeah, mostly just like curious, it's just mostly like curiosity, how can we help, and yeah. Just, yeah, with our nephew, our big cousins, we end up at a lot of these parks, our friends' kids, so, yeah, and making it better for our kids at some point. We don't have kids right now, but at some point, so, yeah, that just excites me.
And my term is up. We did staggered terms to start, and so I had a 3-year term, and this is the end of my 3-year term, and so I'm running for a 4-year term to go forward. So I've lived, I already told all the stuff about what I do and have and care about. So and I currently am a member on the current district advisory committee, and I was on the district advisory board before that, but help make the transition and add the proportionality, et cetera, in this very room. It only took us 2.5 years, but nonetheless, I'm retired and I've been very involved in community stuff for years. I, for 35 years, ran community-based volunteer programs with staff to work with mostly young people who would use some assistance figuring out for themselves where they're going.
Yeah.
Because we believed for years that unless you have some vision for a future, you have no future. And you just bump around and do nothing, but you can get some sense, and what takes to do that is some faith in yourself. Like, I'll see you next Tuesday doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people. Next Tuesday comes and goes and, oh, I didn't write it down or whatever. So they can't make long-term stuff. So that's what I did for a long time. It was incredibly valuable, and so now I work on local community stuff, and I'm happy to do that, and I'm running for the 4-year term. So any other thoughts, questions about? There's no other candidates on up there. And so.
Well, we've applauded for all.
Well, I was going to, if we were in a breakout, I was gonna turn it over to Steve and let him run this part of it, but in truth, we'll let the process go. You need to know what district you're in, I mean, sub area you're in, and then, we have ballots to pass out.
So we need to also pass out some pens. If you don't have a pen, you need to fill out the whole paper and only vote for your sub area person for the number
Yeah,
of.
please, if you're not my sorry, don't vote for me. Throw your ballot out.
Pick one, pass it along.
You can vote for yourself.
Yes.
But you can only vote in your sub area.
Right, and so for Mel and, I'll go work on that. For Mel and, where'd she go? Did Pat go away?
No, I'm here.
Oh, good, I didn't see your name on the board, that's all. So, how did she vote?
Jessica, just put a link up there for them to click on.
Okay, oh, I think you raised your hand. What can we do for you, Patricia?
I would like to vote. Do I get to vote?
Yeah, there should be something to come on your screen that tells you click here and make it work. And if you don't see that, let us know. There you go.
Chatter.
It's in the chat.
What?
In the
You know how to
chat?
get to the chat, Pat?
On the first line.
Okay. If you would like
At the
to vote,
bottom.
please fill out the following form. Oh, my.
And then you need to put one.
What was your concern, Pat?
Okay. I did bring a bunch of people.
Talk closer to Al.
You can also
Okay,
add
yeah.
if you'd like.
Yes,
What was your concern? What was your concern? Do you
I
see how?
yes, I think I'm okay.
Okay, very good. And Mel, do you see where it is in chats for you to vote?
Yep.
Is that yep from Mel? Mel?
Yeah, everything's fine. I'm trying to fill it out.
Okay, Pat, I'm gonna talk to the other person who's online also.
Okay.
Okay, Mel, are you there? Oh. We don't have anybody, he doesn't have anybody to vote for anyway.
Is he in five?
No, he's in two.
Oh, he's in two.
Two.
Oh,
So
okay.
Mel, you don't have anybody to vote for because you're in sub area 2. Disregard. Okay. Okay.
No, I got it. Thanks. That's my bad.
So I can kind of tell little next steps with the ballot. So what happens next, I take them, I'll scan them all to our administrative assistant. She just has to verify that, 1, you're over 18 years old and can vote. 2, that the address that you provided is actually in our district. So once she does that, which will be very short, she will let the director know, who will then get this, I hope, before the board or submit it next week, because ultimately the board of directors will approve the results of this. So they choose. They can do what they want, but I just want to let everyone know what happened. Once I get these, I'll scan them, get some verification that you are who you say you are and you live within the district to make sure you're eligible.
She did, and I have a question.
No, that's a question.
So as I'm looking at the group and submitting the ballots. We do not currently have the okay for alternates.
Not yet.
We need to bring that up to the board when we submit these and talk about it at the next DAC meeting.
So, the DAC is kind of the driver behind that in the bylaws, and I know that's on their plate. So I'll defer to them on that. And if that's what they,
I just don't want to see it drop.
I know, and it's being driven by the DACs.
But it's good. I'm glad to have all the support. So I have a question. We had a number of people apply. Many of them didn't show up tonight. But we do have a second position open in the which
Sub-area 4.
sub-area 4. So, and there were several people who applied. So what I wanted to know is how we will determine the second position. I know you don't know, but we should talk about that. So,
Well, we don't have really any option, and it will be something that we'll have to talk about the DAC, because until it goes through a process in sub-area 4 and or there's an alternate plan, so
right,
we'll have to talk about that at the district advisory committee meeting,
Right.
which is a week from tonight in this very room.
but I guess I would have, if I were making a motion, I would make sure that those candidates at least knew that they missed. Are they still interested? And is there some way that they could then show up at the district advisory committee and talk about their interest? I don't know.
That wouldn't really be the place for them to talk about their interest. It's about what the process would be for my, anybody else has a different opinion, feel free to jump in, but the reality for me is we don't have their contact information, only, I didn't know if NCPRD does. I know that the PGA, Public and Government Affairs, does have it, because that's where the applications went in. So the point is, we, as the DAC, may ask to have them be contacted, but it won't be at the DAC meeting, in my opinion, where they need to come and talk or anything.
Okay,
But we definitely want them to be reached out to be advised that we're sorry you didn't make it, but there's still, if you still have interest, there's room for you in lots of ways, whether it's on the DAC or not. Is that,
I think that. Yes, we have a process we should follow, and also extend that invitation to still participate in however that makes sense, you know. I don't have the bylaws memorized, unfortunately, so it's, you know, I'm a little off the cuff.
I understand.
But what I would also say is, you know, we didn't really know if there were any excused absences or, you know, things like that. We cover that in our bylaws, you know, things can happen. My mother-in-law was in the hospital recently, so, you know, you do the best sometimes, and I think we should keep our minds open and definitely the overture that there's places for everybody to participate, whether you're on the DAC or whether you're in a Friends of Parks group, or, you know, whether you're helping us try to start a new foundation, or, you know, there's lots of seeds of ideas that we can plant and grow.
Yeah, I just didn't want to lose track of them, especially since you don't have contact information.
Oh, yeah, we're not assuming anything at this point, and, you know.
Good.
Thank you for bringing up the question, Jan.
Thanks, Jeanette.
okay? I can tell, that passage was firmly committed, so there's no reason for us to hang around. What I would, any last words from anyone about anything that we need to talk about, and then we can adjourn, and then those who want to stay and talk, I must be putting stuff away, so.
Yeah, and there's lots of snacks.
Lots of
Yeah,
snacks, and there's a survey waiting for everybody's input, if you haven't done it yet.
Right, the system plan survey,
The question I just had was, those who are running tonight, will you be informing them at some point, whether they're, when would that?
Oh, the timing, yes.
Yes, so we'll do this as quick as possible once they're verified. I believe it. I'm anticipating next Wednesday for sure. The director will probably announce that she has forwarded the names that came out on top tonight have been referred to the board of directors for approval.
So they would become effective which date?
Whenever the board of directors, approves them at their meeting, so, I believe it would be at. I believe it would be at the end of June, early,
26.
yeah, there's some weird holiday, we've got the 4th of July holiday that cuts it short, there's Juneteenth that falls in there too, so. I don't know for sure, Mark, I don't wanna speak
I
out.
mean, if they're accepted, their term would begin in July.
It's always on July 1 by the bylaws. So no matter when they get appointed, it started on July 1. And our next DAC meeting isn't until the 17th. So,
June 17th.
July,
Okay.
the one doesn't matter. We're the same people are still on for June. Yeah, other people wouldn't be on until then. As I see it. Anybody see different? Okay, good.
So, Dominic,
It's Mel.
No.
Yeah,
yeah, who's the representative for sub area 2?
Go ahead, she goes.
It's me, Anita, and Mark, who is at the other end of the room.
Mark Elliott.
So it's Mark Elliott, and who are you again? Sorry.
And I'm Anita Blackmar. So we're on for, I'm on for another year, and Mark is on for longer than that.
Sorry, I missed your name. Sorry.
Anita Blackmar.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming to the meeting.
Mhm.
And if you're interested, Mel, if you go to ncprd.com and you could go to the DAC page, it lists the current members.
I know. For some reason, I don't see her on the list of, I see Mark Elliott's on the list.
Okay. That excellent. We'll have to see why that isn't so, but here's what happened was there was a opening and she got appointed as an alternate because of her previous experience of being on the board. So as the commission, so she's finishing a term that had time and she came on by a vote of the district advisory committee and then it was approved by the board of directors. But it sounds like that the website hasn't been updated. So thanks for pointing that out, Mel. That's great.
One thing I'd like to say is that any public member can attend any DAC meeting. And it's very valuable, and there's a public comment section. So it's not like if you're not on it like this month. If you wanted to go this month, you could go this month.
Okay, so the meetings are monthly.
The meetings are monthly.
It's the third Wednesday.
No, not
And-
third.
So they're hybrid, right? They're hybrid meetings like tonight.
Correct.
Yes. Second.
Okay.
The second Wednesday. Okay, I lied.
So how do you send an email to your representative in the sub areas?
You send it to DAC
Oh, I
at
see.
NCPRD.com, but to DAC, and it'll go to the board as to your representatives.
Yeah. It goes to
Oh,
all
I
the
see.
representatives. And that way we all are in touch with what's going on in different areas.
And I was misinformed, the next DAC meeting in the new fiscal year is on the 10th of July. So we need to get a result in time for people to attend.
Oh,
that.
not Well,
You're right.
Dominic, are you listed? I don't see your
Who?
name.
Who?
Dominic, is that your name?
I'm not listed. I work at NCPRD, so I'm not, I'm just here as support for the district
Oh.
advisory.
He's
Are you
he's a deputy director.
Thank you, thank you.
They
Okay,
start
good.
at
Anything?
5:30.
What? Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, I'm sorry there's such a long gap before you get to hear.
Wait a second, one conversation.
The reason that I asked about the people that have submitted their names and are here tonight or won't be appointed to this is because when the district first was formed, I applied to be a member of the district. And I didn't hear back from the district for a long time, and finally I called them up and said, why hadn't I heard anything? And they told me then that the names had to go forward to the county commissioners, and the county commissioners would select the people. And when the names went forward to the county commissioners, they selected a different person and not me. But nobody ever contacted me to tell me that I wasn't selected. I was just
Yeah.
To this
tell
day.
you to this day, and I am never going to submit my name where somebody else says I can or can't volunteer my time.
Right.
So I don't want to lose those people that have submitted their names in any way, shape, or form. And this system just doesn't work for me.
Got it.
Good point.
All right, great. Anything else for the good of the order?
Thanks for coming.
My closing thought is to say thank you all for being willing to serve, and thank you all for being here tonight, and just give yourselves a round of applause.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to talk to Mel, Mel,
For a long time.
and I want to
Yes.
talk to you. I know.
So we do have to clear the room.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're aware.
Hard volunteering.
I put out a newsletter called The Citizens Informed and Aware. Mel, you get it?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
All of these meetings are in that newsletter, so the dates, times, places, and links, if they're gonna be virtual, are all in that newsletter. I don't have the two of you here and you on the newsletter. I'll give you a card and you can send me your email.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Thank you,
Thank you, Velma.
And you are on the.
So will I get this?
Oh, that's our separate. We work together cooperatively, get a bigger database. Ours is 97267 and.
But I'll get information about that for the meeting.
Yes. Really, when I put out, really issue that people don't know.
Want to shut the meeting down?
Yes, please, thank you. The next-
Yeah.